If you are living in a Pakistani household and your mom likes making salans and rotis and chawas and biryanis and stuff, then what are generally healthy options that maybe you could go to your Amiji about to say, this would be good for us to have? Like, because I feel that's also challenging. Speaking to your elders to say, I want to change my diet. What are good options then?
It's difficult. It's difficult. I think the first thing is roti and rice, chawal are a staple diet. Okay. So every meal in most Pakistani household will have a plate of, will have rice.
That's the carb.
That's exactly. And roti and salan. Now we have already discussed the problem with carbs. Both roti and chawal are refined carbs. They're not just carbs. They are refined carbs. If they are so fat, if they are white rice and white roti, so they are refined carbs, and they are got a very high glycemic index. The moment you eat a couple of rotis, a couple of naans, chapatis, or you have a plate full of rice, your insulin will go up. Okay, so the basic problem with refined carbohydrate, and we have not discussed this, so I'll just get it out of the way, is the phenomenon of insulin resistance. So every time you eat carbs, your insulin spikes so that it can send the blood sugar into your cells, because carbs increase the amount of blood sugar in your blood. So the insulin increase, it sends the sugar into your cells. Then after 2 hours, you eat a samosa and you get another insulin spike. Then 3 hours after that, you eat a biscuit and then you have another insulin spikes. And 4 hours after that, you eat a naan. And these daily insulin spikes, the cells then get fed up. They just give up and that's what's called the insulin resistance. There's so much insulin floating around in your blood all day long because they keep eating refined carbs. Not just roti chawal, chocolates, cakes, biscuits, everything with sugar on them, or sugar in the tea and coffee. The cells get resistant to insulin. It's called insulin resistance. So the insulin cannot transport sugar into the cells. The sugar goes up in your blood, causing diseases such as diabetes. And insulin inhibits lipolysis. So the process of lipolysis, which means breakdown of fat by your body hormones, insulin inhibits it. So if you have a persistently raised insulin in your body most day long, then your body will not have a chance to break down your fat cells. So that's why, and we'll come to this later on, I'm sure you'll ask me the question, if you're doing fasting or intermittent fasting, you have a prolonged period of time where insulin is low. Nothing is going through your mouth. Insulin, and don't take me wrong, you get insulin spikes with fat and proteins as well, but not as much as with refined carbohydrate or carbohydrate. So when you're not eating anything, insulin is low, your body get a chance to now dig in to your fat cells. The body will use the glycogen in the liver and the muscles first to produce sugar, and there's only a small amount of it. I think after 6 hours maybe, or 8 hours, the glycogen is depleted in the liver, and then the body need energy from something else. And that something else is fat.
Fat breakdown.
But before we get to that stage, we eat something else. So basically, it just insulin keeps high, lipolysis is prevented, and we get the insulin resistance.
Okay. So in Desi Pakistani households, what are alternatives then for diet? We'll go to Ramadan, but just to finish this, what are alternatives then for having a healthy, balanced diet? What are healthy options for us?
So I think first thing we need to do is to restrict the amount of carbohydrates, refined carbohydrates. So if someone is concerned about their health, they want to look after themselves, refined carbohydrates have to go. Cake, pastries, chocolates, bakar khanis.
The gifts that I gave you today, you can't eat that basically. That's what you're saying.
I probably will after that. But most of them have to go. Obviously, you can have it as a one-off, but daily has to go. And then, so that's the first thing. After the refined carbohydrates are gone, the second option would be to look at your carbohydrate intake. Most of our carbohydrate intake is from roti chawal. People who cannot give up on roti chawal, a good option would be to go to brown roti.
You get brown rotis.
You can get multi-grain atta, and you can get brown rice, or quinoa is even better. Quinoa is available in supermarkets. Quinoa is also a grain with a very low glycemic index. So I have quinoa at home. I eat quinoa I try not to eat rice. I've not eaten rice for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can get multigrain bread as well. It's now with bread, even if it's brown bread or multigrain bread, it still gives you insulin spike, but it has some fiber in it as well. So it slows down the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream because of the fiber content.
Okay.
So even if there is a spike, it's over a long period of time.
Yeah.
So first thing is to consider those things. And then when you come to your main salan, as you call it, the problem with that is mainly cooked in oil. Most of the oil that we use is sunflower oil, canola oil, safflower oil, and these kind of oils that the Pakistani community or the Indian community use. These oils are very pro-inflammatory. So they go into your blood vessels and they trigger inflammation in the blood vessels. And that can give rise to, atherosclerosis and metabolic syndrome, heart disease, and strokes and things like that. So we have to change oil. A good oil could be olive oil, extra virgin olive oil.
Yes.
The problem with these olive oils are they are not suitable for our traditional desi cooking.
Yes.
So we put our salan, when we make our salan, we put tons of oil and we cook them to hell. So all the goodness seeps out from these vegetables that we are cooking, and then put lots of spices on it, and some of them are good. Turmeric is very good. We use turmeric and some other spices. If you use good quality salt, that's very good for your body. Yes. But the problem is cooking and frying them in oil. That's the problem.
Okay.
So if you start using extra virgin olive oil, a good incentive is you can't keep cooking them for a long time. So you then are forced to change your cooking pattern. Either shallow fry them, or the best is to you can air fry them, you can grill them, you can boil them. Any technique which will stop you using oil is good. If you have to use oil, just stir fry them in a shallow pan with a low amount of extra virgin olive oil. So that could be one get out of jail card. One thing that is very helpful is to eat vegetables before your main meal. So salad should be a part of every Pakistani household. Now you would have noticed when you go to a Pakistani dawat, the smallest thing on the table is the salad.
And it's not touched.
And it's not touched. So nobody touches it.
Yeah.
But if you eat salad before your main meal, and I mean by salad, cucumbers, radishes, salad leaves, any salad. You eat it, you fill in part of your stomach with that, and then you go to your main meal. It's a very good habit. It's a very good habit to just suppress some of your appetite with salad and then go to your main meal. Maybe have half a roti, one roti, maybe have a few spoonfuls of chawal, and then your main salan. If you can avoid cooking your salan in oil, especially the oils that I've mentioned that are very detrimental to your health, the sunflower and the safflower and the canola, all the much better. And you can grill your meat, you can air fry your meat, you can boil it or whatever. And same for vegetables. You can't eat all vegetables in your salad, so you have to cook some vegetables.
Yes.
But then cook them in a shallow pan with only a little bit of extra virgin olive oil.
I think I should hire you as my personal trainer because I only met him a month ago. He sent me a document, a PDF, 6-7 pages. Is exactly what you're saying.
Oh, thank you.
Which is not having a processed foods in your diet and making those small changes. And when I thought I was going to meet him, and even my Omiji thought when I was going to meet him, we thought he would say, you can't have your desi foods and salans and rotis and stuff. But then he gave options. And as you're saying, now I have brown roti because I really like roti. I do love naan, but I've cut that out, unfortunately. I have my brown rotis at the end of the day. And even salans, yes, we're using extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil as well and stuff. And my mum also says, put veg on the plate first, then put your meat. Because what ends up you doing, you fill up your plate with your meat, your jawal, and then like whatever little space there, you just make it a little bit green. Putting veg there first. But it is a change for a lot of people. I think even people know about the insulin spike, or let's say the sugar spike is what you feel. But then when you switch to that diet, you don't get that sugar rush. And sometimes you almost need the sugar rush because you're used to it, and that maintains energy levels. So then when you switch to this non-refined diet, you almost don't have a sugar rush. You probably have enough calories and stuff to eat throughout the day, and you're getting your nutritional benefits, but you probably end up feeling more tired because there isn't the sugar rush.
Exactly.
So that's an adjustment for people.
And the problem with the sugar rush is when you have the sugar rush, insulin spikes and then drops down very quickly.
Yes.
So you feel hungry again. You want to, you want to munch on something within a couple of hours.
Yes.
And that calories keep piling in.
Yeah.
One of the tips for losing weight or a healthy lifestyle is to avoid eating in between meals. That's a big problem. People keep munching on things in between meals, snacking. And one of the reason people snack is because of sugar rush. If you eat diet with sugar, your insulin goes up but drops down very rapidly, and so does your sugar.
And you're avoiding the lipolysis, the breakdown of fat, that opportunity.
Correct. And then you attempt to go and eat something else to maintain your body sugar. However, if you eat things that cause satiety, protein causes more satiety than carbohydrates. So if you have a good meal with good amount of 200 gram of protein in a meal, or 150 gram of protein in a meal, it would be very filling if you eat it with carbohydrates. And then your body get used to it. I think a lot of the problem, I've come across a lot of people who send me questions on my YouTube channel is that if I don't eat carb, or if I don't eat enough, I feel tired, mujhe chakkar aate hain, I feel dizzy, I feel weak. A lot of that is psychological. Okay, because we get told to eat all the time. And a lot of it is psychological.